Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners.
Goldylocks Productions presents the Live from Little Bear Sanctuary show with Christopher Vane. Enjoy topics such as the vegan lifestyle, sanctuary media highlights, and spotlighting new rescues.
Happy Friday, friends. Welcome to Live from Little Bear Sanctuary. I'm your host, Chris Vane. So today is the first day of our 21-day vegan challenge, plant-based challenge, whatever word you're comfortable with. I'm really excited. I'm going to do a bunch of recipes for you today, really simple, fun recipes that you can easily do at home. Not too many special ingredients, just your typical ones you're going to want to have in your pantry anyway as we go forward. So yeah, we're going to have fun. We're live on the Little Bear Sanctuary Facebook and the Goldylocks Productions YouTube. So I hope if you're watching, you say hello, subscribe to the Goldylocks Productions YouTube channel, like our shows, and also on the Little Bear Sanctuary Facebook page. Good afternoon, Kim. How are you, sweetie? Speaking of Kim, Kim did an amazing job. If you go to our website for the next, we're actually going to keep it up. If you go onto our website, we have a section now. It's under the plant-based challenge. And all these recipes, the videos, resources are all going to be available under that tab. Hey, Ruth. Good morning, Ruth. How are you, sweetie? We've got these downloads, so you can download all this paperwork that I'm going to go over with you guys today. And I think we made it really simple. We're going to have this for all budgets. And I'm gonna, and you guys, experiment. What I love about vegan plant-based cooking is you get to experiment in so many different ways. It's truly, I think, probably, I've been a vegan 11 years now, and I've never had more fun in the kitchen because you can go crazy. You can change ingredients. You can change the taste really easy, and we'll go over all that stuff today. I did want to say quick that these, the Goldylocks production shows for April are paid and sponsored by Dr. Lauren Love, the ICU nurses, technicians, and staff in Boston area hospitals, and we really appreciate that. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you've been enjoying the show. Any more announcements before we get going? Let's see. So today's day one for the newbie vegans. You really have a limitless choice on the products you can use, and you can go from your basic tofu to Beyond Beef, burgers, whatever you guys want to do, homemade black bean burgers. We're going to really have a lot of recipes available. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you? Good morning. Good morning, Gloria. Good morning, Jennifer. All my favorite girls are here with me today. We're broadcasting from my kitchen, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. I want to thank my friend Sabrina for sending me this awesome t-shirt. Totally, I love it, Sabrina. Thank you. So yeah, let's see. I'm gonna actually have some coffee with you guys right now. I just made some. So for me and for you longtime vegans who might want to have fun the next 21 days, I'm going to be doing this oil-free, as sugar-free as possible. Meaning, like there are some things that have sugar in it, but I'm not going to do any added sugars, no added oils. I'm going to be using this unsweetened, dairy-free oat milk creamer for my coffee. No sugars, no oils. I've I've gotten used to the taste. I still like my silk the best. So you guys know this one. And this only has 2 grams of sugar, but I thought it'd be really good for the next 21 days. And this sort of tastes like cremora, the old-fashioned cremora. So I got my coffee here. I wanted to show you that this creams really well. Let's pour some in here. I sort of have to lean in today. So yeah, this is that creamer. And you can see it works really well. It creams the coffee really well. Tastes good. I don't mind the taste. So cheers, everybody. Can't do without my morning coffee. And I'm not a sugar person in my coffee, so this is easy for me. If you are a sugar person, I highly recommend the Silk dairy-free creamer. Really good stuff. Minimal sugar, and they have a bunch of different flavors. They have an oatmeal cookie one that's really fun. So on our website, and there is the download section. I'm going to actually bring it up on my phone so I could sort of go over it with everybody. It's the 21-day plant-based challenge. Actually, you're not going to be able to see it. So there's downloads. There's download for food storage. There's a shopping list. Batch cooking and power bowls, and the power bowls is a cute chart. If you do batch cooking, it's a great way. You spend your Sunday cooking in the kitchen, and you'll have food for the whole week. We've got some recipe blogs and some of my favorite recipe websites. A huge list of documentaries and additional documentaries. Nothing is in any specific order. So Kim, you did a great job. Thank you so much. And then we'll have these YouTube videos on that tab too. I also made some recipe videos. We're doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner today. We're going to do a tofu scramble with black salts, which I've been telling you guys about. Really amazing stuff. Last night I put together it's a plant-based roast that you make in your bread maker. You literally throw in the ingredients, press the button, and that's it. So simple. I'm going to show you how to do that. I've actually made a video for that. We're going to have that on the website because I don't want to sit here and throw everything into a bread maker. But I'll show you guys the ingredients, show you how easy it is to make. I'm going to make a quick dinner, which has been all the rage. You've probably seen it on Facebook, Instagram. It's the feta tomato pasta. Simple, so easy to make. So yeah, I'm going to start with that one first because it's got to go in the oven. And it's really simple to do. So for pasta, I decided to use Barilla makes this amazing red lentil and chickpea pasta. Or you can use whole grain pasta. And this is what it looks like. And it's a healthier version. We're going to try not to use any processed flour for the next 21 days. So basically 100% whole wheat. And then, of course, any of the gluten-frees that you guys prefer, if you prefer it. And these are really good. I'm really impressed. Gluten-free pasta used to disintegrate when you cook it. And these really hold up. They used to be really expensive. They've come down in price. I actually got these buy one, get one free in Publix. Pretty much available in any supermarket now. It's usually with pasta too. Sometimes they have a gluten-free section, but really easy to find. So what I did, they give you half. It's usually 8 ounces instead of the 16 ounces. So I combined the red lentil rotini and the chickpea rotini. And I used a rotini because it's really going to get this cheesy mixture that we're going to make. Really coats it nice. The taste is amazing. And this is so simple, guys. If you don't know how to cook, this is so easy to do. So I did boil the pasta in advance, so cook to the package directions. And definitely, if it says 7 to 9 minutes, always go to the lower number. So for this particular package, it was 7 minutes. always filter your water, and don't forget to stir your pasta when it's boiling. So I've got my oven preheated to 400 degrees. What you need for this is feta. Veal Life makes a feta block. This is what it looks like. This is available in my Publix. I've seen it in a lot of supermarkets, Whole Foods. This is probably one of the only unusual ingredients that I haven't been able to find a substitute for. So if you don't have access to this, you can probably use any cheese you want, any vegan cheese. This one is, this also happens to be gluten-free. So actually this whole dish we're making is gluten-free. And I'm using it's probably a 10 by 12 glass baking dish, probably about 2 inches high. You can use anything. You can use a metal one. You can use a glass one, whatever you have. You can even buy those aluminum ones in the supermarket. But, you know, if I think what's really fun about the vegan challenge is, you know, having fun in the kitchen and cooking. Hey, Marie, how are you? Oh, Marie says she remembers when we took some 2 little pigs from a Miami dog rescue, Starsky and Hutch. They're doing great, Marie. By the way, they're really cute. They still run around together, but they're pretty big now. But yeah, thank you, Marie. That's really sweet. Anyway, so 1 block of feta. Oh my God. 2 pints of cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes. You can get the different colored ones, but it's, you know, the small little tomatoes. 2 pints, which is, you know, they come in these little plastic containers. So 2 of these containers, right? Easy so far, right? So, because we're doing this oil-free, if you look up the original recipe, it actually calls for a half a cup of oil, which a little bit, that's a lot of oil. So we're going to do it with veggie broth instead. You can make your own veggie broth. I'm being a little lazy today, so I just bought a low-sodium veggie broth you can find in any supermarket. So we're going to take our feta. This is a little wet inside. You just want to drain it. You'll put this in the center of the baking dish, and then take your tomatoes, throw them in, put them all around there, and I'm going to use a little bit of Italian seasoning. Any supermarket, you know, and I throw that on top of the, sprinkle it around, probably tablespoon. And our veggie broth. So what I do with this is I sort of eyeball it. It's probably a half a cup, and you're just going to pour that right into the dish. Let me lower the camera a little. There we go, guys. So yeah, so this is our, you can see, you just put the block of feta in the middle, surrounded by the tomatoes, and then we're going to add our veggie broth. And probably enough to cover the bottom. It's probably 3/4 of a cup, half a cup. It's, you know, this is going to dry up. You can't use too much, so I just wouldn't use the whole thing. And that's it. We're going to put this in the oven for 35 minutes, 400 degrees. Center rack, we set my timer. All right, so while that's in the oven, I need to get a portable camera. So while that's in the oven cooking, we're gonna make some breakfast. Let me give you guys, so these handouts, let's get some stuff together. So we're gonna make a tofu scramble. On these handouts that you can download, there's a really awesome shopping list. Let's get some of our salt and pepper. It's a plant-based grocery list, a couple pages long, and it literally has every ingredient you could possibly need. And this is all whole foods, so readily available, inexpensive. Beans, kidney beans, navy beans, peas, tempeh, tofu, apples, bananas, every kind of fruit and veggie you can imagine, nuts and seeds, almonds, cashews, chia seeds, ground flax, pumpkin, walnuts. And you don't need everything. Pick your favorites, experiment. Some are more expensive than other. Dried fruits are really good. Dates, mangoes, raisins. They sort of stick with that. They pretty much avoid coconut products because coconut is very high in oil. I love dates, nature's candy. If you haven't tried those, really awesome tasting and full of potassium. There's a bread and tortilla list here too, which I really love because they actually give you the brand names of the best vegan breads that are pretty much oil-free and all whole grain. And you really want this to say 100% whole grain. If it says enriched wheat flour, unbleached wheat flour, organic wheat flour, none of that is whole grain. It has to say 100% whole grain as the first ingredient. And they give you guys Dave's Killer Bread. I don't know if you guys know Dave's. It's in most of the supermarkets now. We use it all the time. Actually, I think I have some. Let me show you guys. Yep. Here we go. Dave's Killer Bread, whole grains, easy to find now. Even Sam's Club has this. So yeah, they even make whole grain burger buns. So easy stuff. Trader Joe's has a whole selection, Whole Foods, and again, Publix, my supermarket, easy to find. Whole grains, brown rice is black or brown rice is basically the only rice they suggest. White rice is a really processed, stripped down version, not very healthy. And I especially with rice, I really recommend you buy organic. Lots of chemicals in rice. It's underwater. It's any of the root veggies too. You might really want to consider purchasing a non-GMO or definitely an organic version. But there's a ton available. If you want to get fancy and you want it, and I'm going to show you how to do some stuff with flour, Malay flour, oat flour, whole wheat pastry flour, a lot of available stuff. And they even give you breakfast cereals. I'm not a big cereal fan, but bran flakes, original Cheerios, grape nuts, of course, steel cut oats, and even wheat checks. So a lot of accidental vegan cereals that you can do in the morning. Non-dairy milks. So they talk about a lot of almond milk, soy milk, cashew milk. Again, you're not going to see the coconut milk on here, but if you like coconut milk, go for it. I'm going towards the very oil-free, healthy for 21 days. But I love coconut milk, and I love oat milk, and you're not going to see oat milk on here either. High in fat, but oatmeal itself, very healthy. And not too many tomato pasta sauces on here. They list basically two. One, which is a Whole Foods brand, which is and fat-free. You really want to look for fat-free and low sodium when you're looking at these ingredients. And then again, sauces, dressing, condiments. The full list is here. Let me see if there's anything that stands out that's not easy to find. It's they do recommend under cheese substitutes, they have Miyoko's listed at the top, and I got to tell you, Miyoko's makes the best cheese in the world, the best butter in the world, and the reason is why is because she's not making it from oil. She's using cashew milk, and you are going to pay a bit of a hefty price for that. Her mozzarella, for instance, is $10 for a little round cube, but there's a lot of other vegan cheeses that I want you to use. Don't let price stand in your way, and even if it has a little bit of oil in it, try to keep your oil below 10% a day, because most vegan cheeses are made with oil. We're going to use a vegan cheese today from Dea, and it's their cheddar. And when you look for Dea, you really have to look for it to say the cutting board collection. Let me show you that right there. See where it says cutting board collection. This cheese is completely different than the regular vegan shreds. I don't know why they have two, because this is so amazing. And if you've tried the original Dea, you're probably saying, disgusting, Chris, I'm not going to try this. But I'm telling you, this is so good. It's completely different recipe. I use it all the time. Publix, I'm sure, I know Whole Foods has it, obviously. Whole Foods has some, probably every vegan cheese you can imagine. They carry the So Delicious vegan shreds too, which are absolutely incredible. Follow Your Heart is another brand that's really good. Let me pull some out of my refrigerator since I'm talking about it, because I do have everything. Let's see, guys. We got Follow Your Heart. They have the best sliced cheeses. This is their American, excellent stuff. They do a smoked Gouda, also really good. And then Via Life makes a good cheddar slice. This one I like better cooked, like on a hamburger. These are great on sandwiches. They're really good right from the package. So it's funny. You'll just learn these little things by using them. Give everything a try. Everybody's taste palette is different. I've always found Follow Your Heart to be good. I always like the Via Life stuff. But again, once it comes to the Dea, make sure you're dealing with the cutting board collection. Otherwise, you're going to say, oh, Chris told me to have Dea. Although some people like it. So anyway, good stuff. All right, so let's make a really simple tofu scramble. I'm going to do a small portion. You can get these half portions of tofu in any supermarket, or if you're using the big block, just cut it in half. And I'm going to use my nifty Tofu Press that I've been talking about for the past few weeks. That's changed my tofu life. So a Tofu Press basically squeezes the water out of your tofu. And let me tofu always has water in it, so just kind of like rinse the water out and pour it out. Tofu. I'm going to put it right into my Tofu Press. This has holes in the bottom. And then this goes on top. I don't know if you guys can see that. Here we go. So this is what the contraption looks like. I'm going to press down on this like this, and it's got hooks on the side. All right. Hooks together like that. And basically, the water's just going to pour out. Let me show you guys. Let's see. You can see this. This is kind of the small one, but if you use the bigger one, and they typically tell you to press your tofu for 15 minutes. All right. But for a tofu scramble, I'm just going to press it, throw it in a dish. So we got our tofu. We're going to do a cheddar spinach tofu scramble. Black salt. This is the most important ingredient, and you're probably gonna have to order this online. But if you like scrambles, you're definitely gonna want to get this. And it's a black salt. It's India black salt, and it's let me see if it has the actual, because it's not really a salt. Yeah, they're just calling it a mineral salt. The mineral that this has an egg taste, and until you try it, I can't even explain to you how much this tastes like egg. It's crazy. And again, this is an option, guys. If you like tofu without it, you can spice it up however you like. This really gives it that egg flavor. And I think a lot of people crave that, especially when they're first starting. And also nutritional yeast. So I've spoken about this a lot. You can, again, I've seen this in every grocery store now. It's usually with the flours, like the flour section, like yeast, the bread flours, it's usually in that section. And it's basically dried yeast, and it's fortified with B12. And this has sort of a cheesy flavor to it, and it also gives a good coloration to the tofu. So let's give it a go. I got my non-stick pan. Let me turn this down a little. There we go. Oh, also I'm going to use some Country Crock almond butter. You can use, of course, they recommend Miyoko's, which if I had it, I would totally be using Miyoko's butter. And the Miyoko's butter, actually, it's not too bad. It's around $4 or $5. You can find it in Trader Joe's, more so in specialty food stores. I have not seen it in Publix yet, but I know Trader Joe's has it. I know Whole Foods has it. And I'm sure those little specialty stores have it. But again, don't go crazy. Country Crock, you can buy this now in any supermarket. They have the sticks for baking. They have the spread for cooking. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this in a pan. We're going to add our tofu, our black salt, probably a teaspoon, guys. I don't really measure. I sort of cover the top with it. It's probably around a teaspoon of this. Don't use too much. This is really, it's a really strong flavor. So yeah, about a teaspoon. Salt and pepper, and our shreds. And I'm going to do some organic spinach, throw it on top. All right, so let's heat up our pan. And you guys can all see. Yeah, the almond butter, Maria, is really, really good. Kim says she's obsessed with the black salt. Her and I think, bought it at about the same time. So, hey, good morning, Allison. How are you? Yeah, Allison said her first vegan kitchen purchase was a tofu press. I just bought this like 4 weeks ago, Allison, and I used to hate tofu. So, go figure. Anyway, let me get some butter in the pan here. It's going to give us a nice buttery flavor. Keep that up. What I usually do, definitely you want to use a non-stick pan for this. A really good way to judge when this is ready. If you put your hand about an inch from the top and you can feel the heat, that's usually when the pan is heated up enough. You don't want to throw anything into a cold pan. So I got my little half tofu. I'm going to crumple this right in. And you just crumple it with your fingers. Yeah, sizzling nice. All right, guys. Let's see. I'm dropping stuff. All right, so I'm going to just spread that around. You can just break it up I'm going to heat up the tofu. Probably about 2 or 3 minutes. And I'd probably put that down to like a medium high. I use an electric stove. This is a glass top, so about number 5 is what I use on the actual setting. I'm going to do some nutritional yeast. Again, I don't measure. I'd say just sort of sprinkle it across the top, probably maybe a 1/4 cup. I love the taste of this. Some people don't like the taste of it. I think it's really good. It really gives it that cheesy flavor. Our black salt, definitely no more than half a teaspoon. You might want to try a little bit less first. A little bit of salt and pepper. And what I like to use for this, and again, I've seen this in every supermarket that I've been in. We're getting a little fancy here, but they do a pink salt that's truffle infused. And it's truffle salt, not a lot of money. And it gives it, I don't know if you've ever had truffles, it gives it a really, an interesting flavor. I like the flavor of it. So yeah, experiment. Use, if you're not a salt person, I use very, very little. I really don't cook with salt that much. And then we're going to put our cheese on top. Actually, you know what? Let's put some spinach on top first. Probably, guys, half a cup of spinach, 1/4 cup of spinach. Again, you can add onions to this. You could add peppers to this. Whatever you would normally use if you were eating eggs. You can do the same thing in here. You can change up the spices. I'm going to let the spinach wilt a little. Cooking them eggs. Cooking that tofu egg. All right. And the spinach will really wilt down to nothing. There's a lot of memes where they show people put like a big thing of spinach and then it gives you like a tablespoon. It's the truth. So yeah, mix that up. All right, now I'm going to put some of the day of cheddar on this. I probably use probably a 1/4 cup or so. Sprinkle that right on top. Smells amazing. It smells really good. And I love this day too because it really melts nice. Guys, how easy was that? I just turned off my turned off the heat, and let me grab a plate. All right, so let's put this in here. Oh, let me grab a fork. That would help. Make sure I don't burn myself. So yeah, here we go. Cheesy, yellowy, eggy. Gotta try some. It's really hot. It's really good. The black salt really kicks this up a notch. It's the day of cheddar it's just melted perfectly. Couldn't be simpler, right? Such an easy, simple recipe. So good. All right. I'm going to eat that while we go on to our next recipe. We're going to be doing lunch now, and I'm going to be doing a plant-based roast that you make in your bread maker. How crazy is that? If you don't have a bread maker, don't run out and buy it. I just wanted to show you guys a really simple recipe that you can literally throw the ingredients in, walk away, and you have this lunch meat for the week. We could even eat it as a roast. Yeah, Elizabeth, Publix definitely has it. I'm not sure about Walmart. I would imagine they would. And again, it's usually with the flour, like in the baking section, with the flour, with the yeast, with the bread flour. That's where it is in Publix. So yeah, this next recipe, I'm trying to remember the name. I think it's Larry's $5 turkey flavored roast or something like that. But we'll have the recipe up, and I'll have you the video too. I have a really inexpensive bread maker that I've had for, oh my gosh, I think I've had this thing 15 years, made by Black & Decker. I don't even think Black & Decker makes a bread maker anymore. You can buy a bread maker for less than $80 now if you are thinking about getting one. And I love it too. It's great for bread. You can do your own doughs in it. And then they have a higher end one now too. But your basic bread maker, you can actually find them now in Goodwill and those type stores. You can pick one up for $10. Great place to find gadgets, by the way. Goodwill. What's the other one? Not Salvation Army, but I'm sure they have them too. Anyway, this is my bread maker. It's a big clunker, all right, and real easy to use. It has, it's got a gasket that goes in the inside and a couple different settings. For this recipe, you want to use the basic bread setting, and you want to use the regular crust setting, because you can usually choose between a dark crust and a light crust. The ingredients are fairly simple. What you do is you add your wet ingredients first, and then on top of that, you would add the dry ingredients. Wet ingredients, 2 cups of water, a quarter cup of soy sauce, which are, I buy these liquid aminos by Bragg. Again, usually when I do the soy and rice and those kind of lower end products, I always try to go with an organic or a non-GMO version. So a quarter cup of that, and 4 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. And you got to find the vegan Worcestershire sauce, because Worcestershire sauce contains anchovies. I got this one in, can't believe I can't remember the name of it. I can't find it at Publix. I had to go to one of those specialty stores, but Whole Foods has a couple of these, and you'll see it says vegan right on it, organic vegan Worcestershire sauce. So this is, again, one of those products you're really going to want to have this. It's I love to use this for a lot of different flavorings. And again, 4 teaspoons of this. That's all the wet. You're then going to want to do 2 cups of Vital wheat gluten. This is obviously not a gluten-free recipe. I buy this at Publix. It's also with the nutritional yeast, with the baking flours. It comes in this one comes in a box, lots of different brands. You can order this bulk online on Amazon. And it's called Vital wheat gluten. And basically what this is, it's, we call it washed flour. So basically what they're doing is, this is the gluten part of flour that's separated. And again, I mean, it's pretty processed stuff, but It's high in protein. Again, definitely not gluten-free. And this is used to make a ton of vegan meats. It can be flavored with a ton of different ingredients. So yeah, 2 cups of vital wheat gluten. And I have this whole video. It's gonna be online. I didn't want to go crazy measuring everything out for you guys. Half a cup of chickpea flour. Bob's Red Mill. You could usually find all of this stuff, and again, in Publix, regular supermarkets. This company makes nutritional yeast also. They do the vital wheat gluten. This is obviously gluten free, but I guess really in this recipe it doesn't matter. But yeah, half a cup of this, and then the spices are all pretty easy. You're going to use 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of sage, 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, and 2 teaspoons of thyme. And one more ingredient, the famous nutritional yeast, 3/4 of a cup of nutritional yeast. You basically throw those all into a bread maker, press the button, and on my bread maker, it's about 3 hours and 50 minutes for the full cooking time. And of course, it doesn't rise like bread, but it stays at the bottom. And it makes this really awesome roast. Looks like this. I'm going to cut this for you guys, but you can see it's like a little mini roast. Let me grab a cutting board. And this is great. This is great for lunch. You can actually eat this as a roast. I chill this overnight, and chilling it gives it a really nice texture. It's very dense. The smell is amazing, and I try to do thin slices from the side. And you can see it's cut a couple slices. Great for sandwiches. Has no oil. It doesn't have the high salt content that's in a lot of these lunch meats. And if you can see this, guys, it's literally, you can see the texture. It's just like meat. It tastes so good. It's got a sweetness to it and really savory with the spices. What's great about this is you can use any kind of seasoning, experiment. You can use a poultry seasoning and make it like a chicken loaf. You can use Italian seasoning. I mean, the sky's the limit. This is so good. You guys are going to die when you try this. It's really good. If you don't have a bread maker, there are very similar recipes where you bake it in the oven. But this literally took me last night, 10 minutes to throw all the ingredients in. And then the next day you have this great plant-based roast that you can slice up as deli slices. Put on some follow your heart cheese, make a sandwich. You can use this for so many different recipes. I mean, you can imagine the sky's the limit. And yeah, super easy to do. We're gonna have the full video up on the Little Bear Sanctuary website. So good. You could use this in your tofu scramble. All right. Cole, do you want to say hello to everybody? Mm-hmm. Well, the oven's going off. Perfect timing, right? Wow. All right. Let's take out our feta tomato. Ooh, it's hot. Fogged up my glasses. All right, guys. Check this out. Super hot. So that's our feta. tomatoes. That's after about 30 minutes. The tomatoes will pop. And what you want to do at this point is take a fork, or if you have a little masher, you want to break up the tomatoes with the cheese. And again, you can do this with a fork. You don't need anything fancy. Squish them down. The smell is amazing. Wish you guys could smell this. All right, so there we go. Let's mix this around a little. And we're going to pour this right over our pasta, which I pre-made the pasta. Very, very hot. Don't touch the pan. All right, I got my pasta over here, and I left it in the bowl that I cooked it in. Again, I used, I actually mixed the red lentil and the chickpea, so you have some nice colors there. Obviously drained it, and I'm just going to pour this mixture right on top of the pasta. Gotta be really careful, guys. This is really hot stuff. All right. Turn that off. Let me get this out of the way. And I'm just going to mix this up. Just want to stir this up and get all that cheesy tomato goodness all over these rotini. And again, I like to use the rotini. You can see why they really hold a lot of the sauce. All right. So again, this recipe uses the, and what I'm going to be doing for the next 21 days is either using a whole grain pasta or any kind of gluten-free pasta, chickpea, lentil. Again, every supermarket has them now. This is probably one of the easiest recipes. I mean, you don't have to be a cook. There's basically no measuring, right? It's the tomatoes, the cheese, a little bit of spice, throw it in the oven. And again, this I did with 0 oil. All I did was use the veggie broth, and it's a much healthier recipe than adding a half a cup of oil. All right. So another way to have fun with this is plating. If you want to get fancy, you can use the bigger bowl. This is not your typical. This would probably be sort of, it's a little smaller than a serving bowl, but if you serve it in this, it really makes a fancy dinner. You can impress your significant other and turn out this really amazing meal. So let's put some in here. And to the top of that, gotta have some Parmesan on it, right? Follow your heart, Parmesan shreds, really amazing stuff. Again, this is in our supermarket. The vegan cheeses are usually with the veggies, like the fresh veggies. They usually have a section. I love the Follow Your Heart shredded Parmesan style cheese. Let's pull off this. I'm going to open it up. You can also chop fresh garlic on this, fresh basil. All right, let's put a little bit on top. And I'm guys, let me turn this down so you can see. Fancy, fancy. How easy, right? I keep losing my fork. Here we go. All right. It's really good. It's got that feta cheese flavor and the grape tomatoes. It's really you don't even miss the oil. Really, really good. Wow, so good. So 3 very easy, simple recipes that you can get started with like immediately. Sorry, they're so good. You guys are just gonna watch me eat. Very good. All right. So yeah. All these recipes again are going to be on the Little Bear Sanctuary website under the 21-day plant-based challenge. We're going to keep it up. It's going to be a permanent part of the website. You're going to find the shopping list download. You're going to find a batch cooking download, and this just makes it easier, especially if you're newbie to this and you're just learning. You might want to spend time on a weekend preparing your meals for the week. It's usually a lot easier. You don't have to think about what you're going to do every day. And this batch cooking has some really great ideas for, make a pot of chili, make a pot of soup. You can do like a burger of the week and have a bunch of those made in advance. Cook up your grains in advance, your beans in advance. Bake a bunch of potatoes, sweet potatoes, have it all ready for the week. And you can do a ton of different recipes. They actually give you Monday through Friday ideas for the week. So for instance, Monday is quinoa stir fry. Tuesday is taco night Tuesday. Wednesday, Italian. And they even say instead of pasta, try quinoa. Or you could do this. This is amazing. Great resource. By the way, all of these handouts are from the T. Colin Campbell Center of Nutrition Studies, which is part of Cornell. It's nutritionstudies.org. Great resources for stuff like this. So this is all made by them. This is not our stuff. We're not selling it. It's all free to you guys. And I want to thank them for letting us use these. There's a quick how long can I store food page. And it goes from apples, broccoli, cauliflower, beans, and it tells you refrigerated, unopened, refrigerated, open, room temperature, freezer, and it kind of gives you an idea of the storage for various stuff. I think it's really handy. There's a Power Bowl section. And these are all separate downloads. It's over here. And basically, what you do is all the stuff you've pre-made for the week. You can make lunch power bowls, dinner power bowls. And what it does is you pick one ingredient from each category and, you put it in your bowl. So for instance, and there's a greens category, a grain, legumes, veggies, dressing, spices, sprouts. So it's basically like a really big, healthy salad that looks really pretty. And you can pick spinach, brown rice, lentils, carrots, sunflower, dill, peanut sauce, and top it with sesame seeds. Or you can pick kale with barley, red beans, sweet potatoes. Literally, it's a really amazing combination of these really healthy power bowls. Yeah, on the website, Little Bear Sanctuary. And let's see. And then, of course, the grocery list. And this is about 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5 pages. And it's actually a checklist. And it's got every single fruits, nuts, veggies, beans, legumes, flours, breads, with the brand names. And again, this is all being looked at on a whole foods side. But again, you know, guys, if you want to buy your Beyond Meat hamburgers for the week, if that's what you want to start it, it's great. Gardein has some really amazing plant-based products. The vegan cheeses, I mean, they run the gamut. Try different stuff. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to pull out some Gardein stuff for you to show you. Gardein is usually in the frozen section. I haven't seen a supermarket that doesn't have it. Pretty easy to find now. You'll probably find a different selection than I might find. But what I love is, I'll pull out a couple of my favorites. So this is Gardein. I love their beefless ground. It's basically beefless ground. You can use this in any, you know, recipe where you would have normally used a ground. So tacos, enchiladas. I love to use this for Mexican cooking. It's really versatile. You can put that in a red sauce and make a meat sauce with it, or a meatless sauce. They have a meatless chicken strips. And again, for this, gosh, you can put this on pasta. You can make tortillas with this. You can put it on a salad. You can make chicken salad with it. I love their sliced Italian sausages. Really, really good. Throw them in sauce on top of pasta. You can do a pepper and onion sausage stir fry. Really, really good. The possibilities are endless with this stuff. They've got so many different products, really easy to use. And we're almost at the end. I'm going to show you the Beyond Beef stuff. I got it all. So Beyond Beef truly has been a game changer in the vegan world, but not the healthiest, really high in fat. I'm not going to be using any of this for the next 21 days, but they do make a ground. Again, replace it in any recipe you would use. They already have plant-based patties pre-made, and you can actually get these in a pack of 20, 15, 20. They have a big package of this. Saves a lot of money. Amazing stuff. Really, really good. One of my favorites. And this has been a game changer, and I use this in my lasagna, which I'm going to make for you guys at the very end. And it's their plant-based Italian sausage. They also do a bratwurst. Amazing, amazing, amazing stuff. Ruth is saying, yeah, meatball. The Gardein meatballs are amazing. I have those too. A couple different brands of this too. Light Life makes a pretty good selection of this, and of course there's Impossible, which for me, Impossible, a lot of people like it. For me, it really tastes like ground beef. Like, it really tastes like ground beef. So I never really like the taste of it, but any of these products would fool any meat eater. Yeah, the Impossible, a little too scary for me. I tried it once, but hey, you know, it's amazing what's available out there. And I want you guys to, you know, the next time you're shopping, you know, check out, you know, go to the veggie section. That's where you're going to find the the plant-based cheeses. Obviously, the Tofu Tempeh is another really good sort of a upgraded tofu. I actually think I have one. Let me just show you all this stuff. Yeah, so tempeh. Life has this tempeh, and it's basically soybeans that are slightly fermented, and it's a solid block. And you can cut this and marinate it. You can do like a vegan bacon, use like a smoky flavor. A million different things you can do with tempeh. I do want to give a shout out to the Via Life cream cheese. This stuff is absolutely incredible. Love this stuff. And Tofuti, remember good old Tofuti? They were like one of the original back in the day non-dairy products, and I like to use their sour cream. And again, I get this in Publix. It's usually they actually put it with the regular sour cream now, which is interesting. And since I'm going to be doing tofu for vegan egg, I am going to show you guys just egg. This doesn't need anything. This tastes just like egg, seriously. And it's a mung bean mixture. Again, it's highly processed. I won't be doing this for 21 days, but hey, give it a try. It's really amazing. It's so much healthier than the alternative. And Follow Your Heart also has a vegan egg. And this is powdered, so you mix this with water. Very similar products. Love to use this for baking. It's really spoons is the equivalent of one egg. And yeah, always have this around for baking. And Experiment. You're going to see these on the sheet. Mrs. Dash, who doesn't know her, she all her stuff is, I'm calling her, she's a big company. There probably is no Mrs. Dash, but oh, actually it's just called Dash now. I guess they changed it. It was probably politically incorrect. So Dash, salt-free. All this stuff is salt-free. This is a lemon pepper. There's probably 20 different of these. Try to look for the salt-free versions of any of the herbs and Experiment. These are really fun. They're by Simply Organic, and I find them in Publix. And they're sort of a pre-mix of seasonings. They have a savory, and they have an original. Looks like this. They probably have 10 different kinds now. The original has kind of like an orangey zest to it. Savory, rosemary, thyme, all those warmer spices. Good stuff. The spice section is your friend for the next 21 days. It should be your friend anyway. I hope you guys will experiment. We'll be updating the Little Bear Sanctuary website weekly as we do more of this. Next week, my guest will be Bill Meir, Sergeant Vegan. He's got a great book out. And yeah, I'm going to upload the video of how I made the roast later today. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks for watching today. I'm really looking forward for the next 3 weeks. Hear what you guys think. I hope you guys will join us. And yeah, have a great day, everybody. Happy Friday. And remember, peace begins on your plate. Love you guys.
Don't want the fun to end? Grab more refreshments. Then head over to the Goldylocks Productions YouTube channel. With the huge selection of shows, the fun doesn't have to end.